Hello, welcome to my channel, Wing Spiritual Clarity. My name is Wendy Wing. I'm doing a psychic tarot reading for you, tuning into the day's energies, seeing what divine messages of guidance come through. This is a general reading, so take what resonates and leave the rest. Hope this reading finds you happy and healthy and enjoying your journey to becoming more and more yourself. That is way too many cards. What's hidden? What's hidden from the viewer? Thank you. Outcome and advice. Alrighty. Okay, in the overall energy, it's interesting. The Hanged Man came out as a challenge. The Hanged Man is being stuck, being put in a position. In the original Hanged Man, the story is that this person put themselves in this Hanged Man position, hung themselves up by their foot in a tree so they could see the world from a different perspective and become enlightened from being stuck. Feels like a lot of us in 2020 were put in a Hanged Man position, stuck, so we could see things from a different vantage point. With this being a challenge, it feels like you might be stuck, but not seeing something from a different point of view. So what would help the viewer? What did they need to... Okay, Lovers. So it looks like you might be in a relationship, feeling stuck, but it doesn't feel like you're able to see something clearly. So tell me more about this energy. Seven of Cups in reverse. That's what's hidden too. A lack of options. All right. What I'm reading here is, viewer, you're stuck in a relationship without options and you're not seeing a different way out. Why is the Hanged Man a challenge to the viewer in this relationship? What is it? What messages? What is it that the viewer is here for? All right, we've got Nine of Cups, Magician reverse, Ace of Wands. Interesting. There's something here about wanting happiness, wanting to be happy, wanting, but not feeling like you can create that happiness from within this relationship. Let me see who's in this Magician reverse. Someone, oh my, okay. This feels like someone you're in a relationship with. They're challenged by the clarity that you're coming into. Where there's been confusion, now there's clarity, and it feels like this is you coming to epiphany, seeing things from that Hanged Man point of view. It's challenging this relationship because you're being inspired. You're seeing things differently. It feels like you are not seeing this person as an option, that you want to be happy. You want vitality. You want excitement. You want, and it feels like this person is manifesting against you. They don't want you to move on. They don't want you to have clarity. I feel feels like you've outgrown this relationship. This person's kind of coming out as immature, insecure, uncomfortable with emotions, uncomfortable with emotions to the point where it feels like this person can't, like, denies you your emotions. And this person's wildly insecure. It doesn't feel like this person wants to grow up, wants to mature. Boy, tell me more about, yeah, Death card. It feels like this is over. It just feels like it might already, you might be inside of a relationship that's expired, but nobody's taking the action. No one's willing to act on this, to make it reality. All right, let's look at what's hidden. We've got more of that Seven of Cups in reverse, a lack of options, not feeling like there's a lot of options available to you. Okay, these cards coming out as a challenge to the lack of options. Queen of Pentacles, Five of Swords reverse, Knight of Swords, Three of Wands. Boy, it feels like it's a challenge to find resources. Okay, now I'm getting... Feels like you might have put all your eggs in this basket, this relationship basket, and so it's a challenge for you to focus on creating stability and security for yourself, to have resources. It might be a challenge, but it feels like that's a good place to start. What's one thing I can do today to create stability for myself? Abundance. Focusing on what I prefer, what I want instead. There's something about training your focus on the other side of this relationship. What next? Five of Swords reverse. It's, I think you're done fighting. It feels like not fighting, not arguing, letting go of whatever fight. It's not worth it. It's just wasting your energy and focusing on creating stability for yourself. You got to start somewhere. And it feels like once you start taking action towards the reality that you prefer, once you ring that bell, it feels like it's already, this relationship feels like it's already expired, but there's just a lack of imagination and a lack of letting this end. Because once you ring that bell, you can't unring it, and well, it just feels miserable though. Just staying in this type of environment with someone who's not for you, someone who doesn't want you to be happy. They don't want you to, this feels like someone who's a bit miserable. They're insecure. Yeah. So in what's hidden, it feels like, what's one thing you can do today? Start daily 10 minutes to populate, to start imagining life on the other side. What's one thing you can do today that's very base chakra, that's reality, in your reality? What's one thing you can do to start finding a job, finding a way to create stability for yourself, imagining yourself on the other side? What's one thing to take action? So leaving a relationship, you gotta have your finances, all the any contracts with your name on them. If this is a marriage, a divorce attorney, and start creating, just take that step one day at a time, start detangling from this so you can start healing and imagining your life on the other side. Yeah, there's something here with the World card, a definite ending. Death card, World card. It feels like when you leave this environment, then you start seeing things a lot clearer. From inside, it's very confusing. And it looks like the more distance, once you leave an environment that you're not happy with, and with someone who's not on your side, then you start getting the accomplishments and achievements, then the understanding, then the epiphanies of what's been going on in this relationship. A lot of growth can happen when you leave, because this person is staying kind of stunted, emotionally immature and insecure. They're not wanting to grow. They don't want to evolve. And so there's a lot of growth when you leave this environment. There's a lot of healing. It feels like this person is so immature that they're miserable, and they just make everybody else miserable. This person feels like it's just wildly immature. The best bet would be no contact. For some of you, it feels like no contact would be the most healing, especially if this person starts just being immature, which it feels like that's kind of their hallmark, their calling card, who they are. All right. For some of you, they're part of some of you, why you're hesitant to leave this is you can tell that they are miserable and they love painful endings. This person does not know how to deal with their emotions. They're definitely blaming you. There might be a third party, that you're not hearing it here. This is not delusion central. That's just for somebody who already knows that there might be a third party. Tell me more about the third party. Well, it's not love. So if you can leave your ego out of it, it feels like if there is a third party, that's actually helping your situation. Can you believe it? Helping you leave. Because this person Misery loves company. This feels like someone in their ego. Two insecure people, very unhappy people. No room for growth or taking any accountability. But while this person's in their ego and thinking they've won, because they've got a third party person, fantastic. Let them think they've won. Don't say a thing, because that feels the safest. When this person feels like they've won, and you just take your energy quietly and focus on moving on. Let this person have their ego victory. Let them. Feels like the safest way to quietly make your exit and go elsewhere quietly. So by the time this person wakes up and wonders where you are, that you're already gone. You've already disconnected. That feels, for some of you, looking for the strategy out of it. Yes, very hurtful if there is a third party. But how can you use that to your advantage? Let them think they've won. Excellent. This is someone very manipulative, controlling. They don't like you being happy. And so let them think you're miserable. Let them think they've won while you're populating and then cutting contact. That's what I'm getting as a suggested tactic, strategy for leaving this environment. All right, in the outcome and advice, we have the Two of Cups in reverse and the Page, or the Knight of Pentacles, coming out as a challenge. Okay, Knight of Pentacles. Two of Cups in reverse. This does feel, again, breakup, an end. It feels like you've spent so much time trying to make this relationship work, it's hard to let go of it. Part of that is literally your energy, non-physical. What I'm seeing is your energy when you focus on someone and the relationship, just tunnel vision, focusing on them. So much of your energy is in this person's space. Energetically, what would be helpful is to unscatter your energy daily, all day, every day. Keep bringing your energy back from this relationship, from this person, and releasing any of their energy back into their space. Cutting cords, cutting thought, cutting energetically. Start energetically. Getting this person out of your space. It looks like this person's really good at creating illusions, delusions of fantasy. This person sold you a fantasy, and it looks like they were taking advantage of your unhealed wounds and the fact that you might disassociate, you might be prone to fantasy, fantastic thinking, rumination, imagining, projecting onto this person an idealized partner. Feels like this person doesn't want to end things. They want to constantly be able to come back in case at some point in the future They want to know if they can pull you, if they can pull your energy, if they can still get you hooked in delusion and fantasy. They love when you project onto them an idealized version. That's all they want. They don't want the reality. This is someone who needs to be, they're in their ego. They need to be viewed as perfect. Infallible. So that means there's no growth. For some of you, there's financial dependency here and feeling that this is as good as you can get. Those are just beliefs. Looks like once you let go of this environment and the beliefs that this is as good as it gets, because it's kind of it appears that this is more of a fantasy. This person never really delivered. Oh, so there's so much disappointment and resentment, unexpressed resentment from projecting only the good stuff and just eating all that resentment and all that anger and frustration. So it feels like on the other end, once you finally leave this, all that, those emotions that were suppressed, repressed, will be coming up to be felt. It's a lot of unexpressed resentment. There's a need to, 7 of Wands, protect your energy, create healthy boundaries. It looks like this person, it feels very enmeshed. You're not allowed to have your own thoughts, your own opinions. There's a cat. You've been cast in a role to just worship this person. They don't want a real partnership. They want the fantasy. And I feel like you might have wanted the fantasy too. The one, that type of thing. Instead of just seeing who they are, someone real, someone who has issues that you can address and that cares enough to shift and change because they care about how you feel. This person does not care about how you feel. There's something about your happiness and you going after what you desire that they can't have. They can't have you wanting anything outside of them. That's it too. So they're very controlling. They don't want you to have any type of independence. And it feels like you've been creating some joy and happiness for yourself. This person just wants you to exist only for them. There's a lot of hopelessness here, and imbalance, and difficult emotions. And your emotions are valid. How you're feeling about this is valid. So sitting with those emotions, processing them, protecting your energy, no means no, creating healthy boundaries, letting this end, investing elsewhere. Investing elsewhere. It does feel, again, like this person could try to affect your stability, your finances. So feels like you're learning who to invest in and who can invest in you. Balancing out your finances. Something innovative, something non-traditional, breaking from tradition. It feels like that's where your finances can really step up, move. A lot more abundance in something innovative. Yeah, that's the last message. All right. Hope that's helpful. Thank you so much for being here. Have a great day.